It really seems that lately foreigners are coming to Thailand for the beaches, but staying for the court cases. This week, we've got an Aussie found dead in his hotel room after a night that we have all had. Student visas being revoked for hundreds of foreigners, and 2 others decide that a Thai lifeguard trying to save their life is worth a 200,000 baht fine. And yes, we've got the video. And make sure you stick it out for the entire video, because our last story has to be the dumbest way by far to pretty much guarantee you can never come back to Thailand. How are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. As always, Thailand news stories never disappoint. We've got some wild headlines this week. We've got some serious WTF only happening in Thailand type stories. We've got some other unfortunate ones that we can all learn a lesson from. And as always, we've got some more terrible foreigners deciding that they would rather pay massive fines, possibly get arrested, and be blacklisted from Thailand for the foreseeable future. Let's get into it. Our first story coming to us from the Tiger. Aussie found dead on Phuket hotel bed with weed and Viagra. Police probe possible OD after substances discovered in Chalong Hotel. So what happened? A 53-year-old Australian was found dead in his hotel room in Phuket. Police discovered marijuana, multiple packs of performance enhancers, and some alcohol. No signs of foul play, likely a mix of lifestyle choices catching up with him. And this is just a reminder to the rest of us that mixing substances plus Thailand's party culture can be very high risk. Now, if you don't know, Thailand, unlike a lot of other places, especially America, when it comes to performance enhancers, if you want to have a night, maybe you meet a nice girl, they are readily available here. In America, you usually have to go and get a prescription for those things, but there's people here selling them everywhere. There will be these guys walking around with these little boxes, and they just got a concoction of all types of stuff. But if you don't know, the reason that those have to be prescribed in America is because they can be dangerous. So if you're coming here, you want to have a good time, you want to party, maybe you want to get some of those things, maybe you need some of those things, I highly advise at least talking to a pharmacist at the absolute least. And ideally, I would consult a doctor first, especially if you're going to be out drinking.
No shit.
Now, our next story seems to be something that is happening more and more often now. Unfortunately, we've said it multiple times on the channel. In general, Thailand is very safe when it comes to, petty theft and things like that. But apparently that's changing, because go figure, some idiots have to always try to take advantage of people's trust. Also coming to us from the Tiger, foreigner nabbed for daring bike theft on Pattaya Walking Street. A foreigner boldly stole a motorbike right on Walking Street, literally one of the most heavily watched areas in Pattaya.
Who does that?
Luckily, there were some motorbike taxi drivers right there. They were able to intervene. They chased the guy down. They stopped him. They called the police. Of all the places to do this, one thing in Thailand, when you're out and about, it's not like America where you see cops, every 5-10 minutes driving down the road. You see them everywhere. In Thailand, a lot of the times it's pretty rare to kind of just see cops out and about. Usually they're only responding to calls and things like that. But when it comes to Walking Street, there are cops everywhere. So obviously this is not very smart. Locals and police were baffled, quote unquote, like stealing candy from a kid while standing right next to their parents. Unfortunately, it looks like this is something that's becoming more and more common, but per usual, it's not Thai people you have to worry about. If you're out of the big cities, you're out in rural Thailand, this isn't something I would really worry about. Of course, I always say don't give anybody the opportunity, but especially if you're going to be around these drinking districts where people are getting hammered, not making good decisions, or there's a specific group of people that seem to be coming to Thailand more and more. If you've been following the channel, we talk about crime stories a lot. A lot of the times it is this same group of people. If you know, go ahead, drop it down in the comments. Now, this next story, also coming to us from the Tiger, is a big one. If you're planning on spending an extended period of Thailand, this is something you should really have an understanding of. Thailand crackdown on misuse of student visas by foreigners. Police move to dismantle networks behind visa abuse. It is no secret that people and agencies have been using student visas for a long time to kind of circumvent the whole tourist visa situation. It's a long-term visa. They're good for up to a year. So just like a lot of other situations, these people pay visa agents. Those visa agents set them up at a school, and they never end up going. They just use the visa to stay here for a long time. I'm not surprised by this at all. A couple weeks ago, we talked about how police have also been cracking down on the visa exempt program or the tourist visas, like visa runs and all that stuff, really seems like it's going away. So it would make sense that this is the next thing on the list, especially since they've introduced the DTV. If you're a digital nomad or anything like that, there is a option for you. So if you are planning on staying here long term, we say it all the time, getting the proper visa is absolutely worth it. Even if you're on forums or whatever and people are saying, oh, you can pay this person to do this and it's fine. Just taking the risk is absolutely not worth it. If you have the means to get the proper visa, get the proper visa.
Yes, I will go back to school.
Now, our next story also has to do with another situation that I see people online talking about all the time. A lot of people try to say this is one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, technically it's illegal, but you can still do it and nobody cares. If you followed the channel and watched these videos long enough, you'll know that we alone have provided plenty of information to show you that that is not true. And our next story coming to us from the Bangkok Post, 200 arrested in Bangkok gambling den bust. Police raided a Bangkok gambling den with around 200 people inside. Most were caught mid-game with no opportunity to run away. Raids like this keep happening, showing underground gambling is still thriving in Thailand. There was also an article we covered a few weeks ago where the government was talking about legalizing poker, and I see that a lot of people took that as, oh, gambling's legal now. That is still absolutely not true. That bill that they are proposing is more for tournaments and things like that. It doesn't mean that you can just go wherever, pull up and start gambling with your friends. The raid followed complaints from residents in the area who said the illegal hub had caused insecurity and addiction among family members, including teenagers. Police had been monitoring the site for about a month to verify facts before making the arrests. The den was open daily from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. the next day with only a 4-hour break. It was found to be part of a network that had been raided multiple times but continued to operate. In the recent operations, authorities detained over 200 gamblers and seized 17 passbooks containing records of cash flow of more than 500 million baht per month. The venue had 5 gambling rooms, including VIP rooms and a large central hall. Each room was reported to generate 3 to 4 million baht in just a few hours daily. Now, while it is true that there are some things in Thailand that are technically illegal, but you see them happening everywhere, and if you do it too, I'm not telling you to break the law, but if you were to, you're probably gonna be fine. Gambling is definitely not one of those things. Highly illegal in Thailand, regardless of what you read, it's just not a good idea. And our next story, the winners of the coveted Dum Dum of the Week award coming to us from the Bangkok Post. Foreign tourists attack lifeguard, pay 200,000 baht in compensation. A group of foreign tourists who assaulted a lifeguard at Nai Harn Beach in Phuket have agreed to pay the man 200,000 baht in compensation after a video showing the attack was widely shared on social media. The incident occurred on Monday evening after the lifeguard warned the tourists not to enter the sea because of the strong waves and the red flags marking the beach as closed for swimming. Ignoring the warnings, the tourist became aggressive, shouting at the lifeguard before spitting at him and then physically attacking him. The lifeguard was injured despite his attempts to defend himself. What kind of tool do you have to be to pick a fight and spit on somebody who's literally trying to save your life? I think it was just a week ago, there was another story out of Phuket where a guy had to jump into the water to save his girlfriend. The girl got out and the guy drowned. It happens all the time in Phuket. The lifeguards aren't just there to yell at you for no reason. If a lifeguard is telling you to stay out of the water, stay out of the water. I think there's a lot of people that come to Thailand that maybe haven't spent much time around the ocean and they think, oh, ocean, water, like pool. Okay, go swim. People drown all the time. So if the beach is closed, the lifeguards are telling you not to swim, don't swim, and don't pick a fight with the guy that's trying to save your life. I'm really happy to hear that this guy is gonna get paid 200,000 baht. They've agreed to that. We'll see what happens. You got to kind of take everything with a grain of salt, but especially lately, these assaults have been happening more and more, and it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of repercussions. It seems like there's some fines handed out, and then these people can just continue to go on their way. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand some people make mistakes, but when it comes to things like this, where it's a completely innocent person that's just trying to do their job and save your life, I feel like that needs to be taken much more seriously than if, you know, people are out and about, everybody's drunk, and they get into, you know, a little scrap in the street. If you're the type of person who can't be told no, you think because you're traveling wherever and you're spending money that you can do whatever you want, stay the hell out of Thailand. Do us all a favor. But I want to know what you guys think. I've seen some very contrasting comments when it comes to these assaults that have been happening with foreigners. Some people have been saying like, oh, it's not that big a deal, just let them pay a fine and then send them on their way. Other people have said, well, they need to be kicked out, they need to be blacklisted, they need to pay huge fines, they need to go to jail. So I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments if you think this 200,000 baht is a fair deal, or should they get harsher punishments? If you did make it this far in the video and you enjoyed it, thank you for hanging out. If you'd like to let the almighty algorithm know that my content is worthy, feel free to go down, give that like button a little tickle. If you would like to be notified next time we upload a video or for the next live stream, you know what to do. If there is a story coming out of Thailand or anywhere for that matter that you would like to see covered on the channel, feel free to drop that down in the comments as well. Thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you have an amazing day, but you know, have a good day, but you can't have it here. Doors that way.